Happy day 30, fam. 30 days in, and what do I want to talk about other than communication? Communing in a location. Communication is the bridge between two worlds and a common space outside of yourself and thought. Communication is the only way to give a window into your personal world. You cannot see all the things that are lingering within my mind and soul. You can't see it. Maybe you could see in my space around me how I choose to express myself and my experience, but that's really all that communication is. It's an expression of the internal world. So, the thought that's important to think about when it comes to communication is that your language is a command, it's a code, and it's directional. So if I am making a software for this computer and I am coding it with language that doesn't align with the life I want, well then my reality is going to reflect the life I don't want. If I am communing with another person and an allowance of things that we don't want, well, we're going to continue creating a feedback loop of what we don't want, because that's the only commands that are going out. When God created the world, he spoke the word, "Let there be light." So if we take into account our language and what we say, it's the only light into our world. What I'm saying to you is a light into myself. So what you choose to say is the most important reflection of who you are as a person. The tongue produces life or death. It is best for one's tongue to be prudent. And what that verse really is saying is control your tongue or it will control your life. If you do not control what you say, it will create a disruptive life for you. So, I don't know, it's pretty important to know that really the only actions we have in this world is caring for our body properly and then caring for what we say properly. What common spaces are you creating through the language that you're choosing? Where are you building bridges to? Are you building bridges for a life that you want? Or are you building bridges to a life that you don't? So it could produce life or it could produce death. It's interesting. I really want to try to get this across to you. You have no idea my inner world. It is darkness from the outside. So every other person is a whole universe. And how you choose to relate to someone else's universe is the importance of communication. Do you want to commune in a location? What locations are you communing with others in? Is it a space that's really facilitating the growth and expansion of yourself and the people you love, and opening the door for the life that was designed for you? Or is it just giving you a feedback loop, a command, a code for the same things you've experienced? And if that's the case, it's important to look at what you're saying. What are my tips of advice in this case? Learning how to communicate effectively and understand yourself enough to know what it is that you're saying matters. If you're just saying things just to say things because you feel like you want to relate but you don't know how to relate, stop. That is seeking external validation. What it is that you need to do is validate and see what it is that you want and need before you try to get it out in the world outside of you. You cannot give to someone else what you haven't given to yourself. And if you have not given true communication towards yourself and understanding the space that you want to commune in inside of you, then it will be reflected in the relationships around you. So it's just important. I don't know, my thought on that is just, it's really important to take ownership for what you say, to know that saying something is an action, and that the responsibility through how you communicate is it's building a bridge to a specific location. It's a command for matter to move in space. It's through communication that things get done. It's the building block for anything to get done is communication. So, I don't know, I hope that this highlighted something for you. It's been a topic that I've been thinking about most of the day because it's easy to overlook sometimes. Sometimes you get comfortable and you're not as aware as to what it is that you are actually saying, or maybe what you're saying isn't authentically true. And that's important to look at as well. Are you authentically, genuinely sharing and agreeing with things with the fullness of truth within you, saying like that this is your truth? There's nothing more powerful on the spectrum of energy than the power and frequency of authenticity on the scale. I saw a scale one time is 4,000 times more impactful than gratitude. Think about how liberating that is to be authentic in your experience and not care about the fact of how it looks anywhere else, but being so rooted and grateful that you get to have your own experience creates the most expansive energy, because the reality is no one is you, no one has your voice, no one has your body, it's only you, and you're the only one that's living in your world. We get to commune and build a bridge to other people's worlds, and that's why it's important to know what type of bridges you're building and what codes you're saying. And the only way to change that is how you choose to show up for yourself and relate to your own being, to understand what it is that you want for you, what you're feeling inside of yourself, and not brushing it off. And really communicating even within yourself and being like, hey, I don't like this. Doesn't feel good to me. Or, wow, I love this. This is everything. You have to get to a place of really understanding yourself. And yes, the thing is this, we're dynamic beings. There are times that we're going to look and be about something, and then in another season we might not be as much about it. It's okay. Everything has its season. Nothing in this life is permanent. The only permanence we have is that eternalness of energy that exists. My body, I will die. It's just the reality is like I won't have this experience one day. And I had to just look around and be like, wow, this is where I'm at right now. As I'm recording this video, I'm in this place. I know I won't be in this place forever. I'm just gonna take this moment to appreciate that this is where I'm at. Communication. It's important. I rambled a bit.